So you mean to tell me CRAs can lose thousands of dollars if they... Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. Today we've got a viewer submitted question where this viewer had emailed into us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com, might I add. And they had a question about the amount of money CRAs can lose if they do not jump companies from year to year. So I had a few thoughts on this, but their main question was about the amount of money that can be lost if CRAs do not jump around from company to company. So I'm going to go in first about some of the other reasons, not just the money, why CRAs will jump from company to company. But first off, I want to say, if you're interested in a career in clinical research, you can email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com to have your resume reviewed. We have been doing a good number of those as well. So email us there if you'd like your resume review. We do a good job. You can see comments under some of our videos, and you can watch some of our videos on the resume review program if you're interested in being a part of it. So just had to put that in there. But back to the video. So some of the reasons why CRAs may jump not dealing with money is because of whenever you join a clinical research study, there's a lot of training that happens in the beginning that you have to do, the sponsor requires, especially as a CRA, but any position on the study before you can begin work on that study. So you got to read the protocol. You've got to read the synopsis. You've got to read investigator brochure. You've got to read all these different documents before you can begin on a study. Pretty much all the documents. And you know, a lot of that time reading all that stuff is just, chilling, sitting at home. You get a good 2 months of break where it's just easy, relaxing, 9 to 5 work, maybe less, where you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to travel that much. You're just in the beginning reading SOPs, work instructions, and reading the documents for the studies that you're going to be on. So that's a big reason why CRAs will jump from company to company, because you get basically a free 2 months of work. A free 2 months of salary where you don't have to really work that hard. Another reason is you're working so hard at your previous company. They really work these CRAs really hard. They want more visits out of them. And like I said, you get a break when you leave companies, and you oftentimes will get that first 2 to 3 months of relaxation period. So that's a couple of reasons why CRAs will leave, not just for the money. But when the money comes into play, that really sweetens the deal as to why a CRA could want to leave. So, back in the heyday, I would say maybe like end of 2016, 2015, CRAs were easily getting, $10,000, $15,000 sign-on bonus. And these are CRA 1, CRA 2s, senior CRAs as well, but $10,000 sign-on bonus for a CRA 1 or CRA 2, and then up to $15,000, even up to $20,000 sign-on bonus for a senior CRA. So you imagine that. You do that a couple times, that's $40,000, $50,000 if you do that a few times. That's just straight cash money. So obviously you'll get some taxes out of that, but we're going to talk about without taxes because I'm not going to do the calculation there. But, that's up to $40,000, $50,000 if we're talking about over a 5 to 10 year period of you jumping every 1 to 2 years. So that's just the cash money, not to mention the salary increase. Now, when you typically stay at a company, they're going to increase your salary anywhere from 2 to 5% based on your performance. So if you're in good standing, doing everything you need to do, they'll raise you 5% if you don't negotiate. So that's just the standard 5%. Doesn't really do much for you unless you get a promotion. Now, if you get a promotion, let's say CRA 1 to CRA 2, they'll raise you a little bit of salary, not just the standard, 5% a year. They'll raise you a little bit past that. Hard to say how much. Each company's different, but I guarantee you it will not be as much as if you apply to another company and they raise you. For some reason in this industry and across a lot of industries, people coming in new to a company get paid a lot more than the loyal people, the loyal soldiers that stand firm and will, the loyal people at a company, basically, the people that don't jump around. So, those people don't get paid as well as the new people coming into a company. And it's unfortunate. That's how the game works. But you got to be able to play the game. So you've got that to think about. Then you've got the fact that you're getting better and better at your job, better and better at the systems at the company. So they're going to throw more and more work on you, typically. And, that work is going to come with stress. And this is how CRAs eventually get tired. They get burnt out. You get good at your job, they're going to throw more and more stuff on you. Other CRAs are going to be leaving in the process. There's going to be a lot of turnover. So because you're so familiar with everything, you're going to be there to shoulder the load. And they're going to lean on you in those tough times when there's a lot of turnover, and you're going to get even more burnt out. So that's some of the other reasons besides money why people end up leaving. And you're going to get burnt out. You're going to get tired of it. And who knows, you may even want to stop being a CRA for a while. So if you quit being a CRA, your salary is going to either stay the same or go down a little bit less if you go down to an in-house CRA. But I'm going to tell you where it's definitely going to go down less is even though a CRA salary, let's say a CRA is making $100,000 in salary. There are so many perks and benefits that, they're really making like $125,000 in perks and benefits. Think about it. They do not pay for their rent. They do not pay for their internet service. So I've seen the bills for this. $70 a month for internet, $50 to $70 or $50 to $80 worth of internet. They pay premium internet for the CRAs. So you got to factor that in. Then think about, you're being gone 3 to 4 times a week. These positions are 70 to 80% travel. And when you're on the road, that is money you do not have to spend. So you're living your life for free there. So your bills are going to go down because of that, because you're not going to be there a lot of the time. You're eating, the company's paying for your meals. You're putting less wear and tear in your car driving back and forth from the office. You can Uber back and forth from the airport. So your miles are essentially getting cut in half, and the depreciation is getting cut in half on your car too. There are just so many perks of being a CRA. And think about it, you work from home also. So you don't have to go out to eat for lunch or anything like that. You eat your lunch at home. You just have a few groceries. And, I know a lot of people also who there are other back end perks that they do. Like they go grocery shopping because their company allows them to go grocery shopping. And then they bring that food home with them. So they have free groceries for when they're not on the road as well. Because these per diems can be pretty high. So there are a lot of perks. You make money in reverse in a lot of ways by not having to do things. From not being a CRA. So basically all that to say, staying at one place to be a CRA can be a bad idea because of, shouldering the load. You're not getting paid what you're worth, and you're losing out on so many bonuses over the course of many, many years of not moving around. And then here's the last thing I want to talk about is the performance, bonuses that a lot of companies have. A lot of companies will have performance incentives. They'll pay you a little bit of extra money if you do more visits. And that's because the company CROs make money when CRAs travel and monitor. That's what makes the money for the CRO. When a CRA is monitoring, that's what makes the money. So if you haven't noticed, a lot of times companies just leave the CRAs alone when they're monitoring. Think about how many passes CRAs get because they're on the road. They don't have to respond to emails quickly. They don't have to be on instant messenger. A lot of things get passed. They barely have to upload documents to the TMF. That's why the TMF is always out of whack at the end of a study. So, all that to say, when you're a CRA at one place, you could get burnt out more quickly because of these incentives. If you're trying to do every visit, all these extra visits, yeah, you might be making a little bit more money, but you're gonna get burnt out even more quickly. So it's sometimes best just to kind of go at the pace, and maybe you lose out on that money on the front end, but you're gonna make it in a big way on the back end when you do jump. But hey, jumping is not for everybody. But one of the best things about being a CRA is the ability to work anywhere in the country. You can work anywhere in the country and be a CRA. And, once you get to that level, it's not really about working, because you're a remote employee. It's not really about being close to an office or a hub, because you can work from anywhere. So just wanted to answer this question about how much money. So I guess to put it all into summary, the amount of money you'd be missing out on not being able to jump is the big bonuses. So we'll say $50,000 to $60,000 or more, but at minimum, that's going to be it. Over a 10-year period, about 50 to 60,000 in bonuses. And then not to mention the big jumps you're going to get. As you go from a CRA 1 all the way up to either CRA 3 or a senior CRA/lead CRA. There's going to be big jumps you're going to get. So eventually you'll get to the max, about $130,000. You probably get there around year 5 or 6. You'll get there faster if you jump also. When you are an employee and at the same place, you have to deal with all the corporate bureaucracy, especially if it's a larger CRO. You got to deal with the corporate bureaucracy. They can only promote so many people a year. They only have so much money to pay out in promotions. You have to deal with all of that crap. You have to deal with maybe your manager didn't put your promotion in on time, so you've got to wait an extra few months. There's so much crap that goes into, the corporate America bureaucracy and people getting promotions and all that stuff. It's happened to me before. It's happened to a lot of people I know before. The managers have a lot to do with it. So if you have an incompetent manager, they could mess up your money for a month or so. So that's why it's best when you're a CRA just to jump around, every year or 2 years. You won't have to deal with any of that crap. Companies tend to roll out the red carpet for new people anyway, and treat you well. But so you're definitely losing out on a lot by not jumping. But there are some perks to staying as well. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different video, because this video is getting kind of long. But so I would say $50,000 just in bonuses. Then the salary increases over the years, happening at a much faster rate, jumping around. We'll probably say another $50,000 in lost revenue, over the course of 10 years. So maybe about $100,000 in cash you missing out, not jumping around. But depending on what you're able to do with that cash over the course of the time, let's say you invested in real estate or you invested in the stock market, that could be significantly more than $100,000, significantly more than $100,000. And especially if you couple that with the money you're already making as a CRA, it can be a lot of money that you're missing out on by not jumping, like a lot of money. So, like I said earlier, it's not for everybody, but it can be of great benefit to those that do want to partake in it. And especially because the job market isn't going to be like this forever. The clinical research job market will not be hot. CRAs will not always be in high demand. They are one of the higher cost items in clinical research. So sponsors want to figure out a way to mitigate that cost, and they're looking for every way possible. So keep that in mind also. You want to, strike while the iron's hot and utilize this great job market to the best of your ability while it's hot, because it will not always be there. We know that. And who knows how it's going to react in a recession, if the United States has a recession in the next few years. So you definitely want to make the most of it while you can. So I think that's about it for this. So you're definitely missing out on a huge amount of money by not jumping around. Even if you're not a CRA, that's for other positions as well. But it's just this person is a CRA, so they asked about it. But other positions as well can miss out on a lot of money by not moving around. For me, my saying is do not stay, and I'm on the clinical side as well, do not stay at your company until you've reached the max salary for longer than 2 years. 2 years is my max at one place. Because the longer you stay, the more you're limiting your salary, and that money can pay huge dividends for you invested elsewhere. So anyway, guys, I'm surprised this video went so long. Email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any questions you may have. You got more CRA questions, answer them. You can comment down below. As always, you want to be a part of the resume review program, eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. You want any one-on-one coaching on how to get into clinical research? We got you. Email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. And put your questions, comments down below. Take care, guys.